Hello, I'm Dropin and welcome to another Dune Awakening tips and tricks video where today I'm going to go through some of the mineable resources up until aluminium, which is about where we've got to so far. I'm just in Dark Souls base and he's going to take his buggy out. I'm going to get in the turret and he's going to drive around and I'll show you where to get carbon, where to get the aluminium and the stuff to make the cobalt paste and a few other ores as well along the way, and then how to refine them. But most of them will require water to refine. So yeah, I'm going to hop aboard and I'll bring Dark Soul in. So if you think I've turned Australian, I haven't. It's just Dark Soul. So I got to get in. So yeah, we'll go and do some mining. Let's go. Yeah, so here we go. This is where we have got the carbon. I'll just show you where we are on the map. We have got the East Vilmanus Gap right there, and yeah, we're just along here, but to be honest, it's all the way along here as well. You can go and get it from this one as well, kind of everywhere, but it is this rock right here. And if I just use this handy tool, but you do need the Mark II cutter ray, I think, don't you, Dark? To mine that, don't you?
I think it might be the Mark III.
It's the Mark II, isn't it? Have a look. Pretty sure it's Mark II, but you could be right, and it could be Mark III. It's the Mark II. Yeah, it's the Mark II. You need that for the other stuff as well, but there we go.
Okay. Yep.
Right, so we'll go and get the stuff for cobalt paste next, shall we? And we're going to show them where we do that. So we stay over here on this side, and we're going to drive down this kind of gap here, all the way up to, where is it, this mineral extraction facility 1 is kind of roughly where we're going. So yeah, we'll see you guys over there, but just follow your way. I'll keep it going, and maybe I'll just kind of speed it up on you know, ×5 or something, just so you kind of see exactly where we drive.
And here we are.
Here we are, yeah. So here we go. We're basically looking for this pink stuff. It's all over the place. So I'll show you where we are on the map. We are just here. We've just driven from there all the way up here. And yeah, this is where it is. And then we just mine that. And this is what you use to get the cobalt paste. It's like etherite or something, but I'm probably getting that name wrong. So there we go. Get a couple of those. You can go in the facility and there's more in there, isn't there? But there is a load of enemies in there, so just, you know, be prepared for a fight. There's a few enemies in there. But, yeah, a little bit
Or you
close.
can just run them over.
Or just run them over. Yep, that works too. Yeah. There we go. So we've managed to get that. So that's all good. So that's how you get that. And then we'll go back to base and process it, because we've got to go... I think that is the aluminium in the north, hasn't it? Which I don't actually know where that is yet. So yeah.
Yeah.
There we go. Let's go back. Okay, so once you've got all of your ores, certainly the steel, you just come over here. You need iron ingots to be able to make that, and obviously all of these things do require water, so just keep that in mind and be wary. We have all sort of said, oh, we'll just process all of our iron ore, and then you run out of, realize you've got no water, so just be aware of that and make sure you've got water before you do that, because you could get yourself into a bit of a sticky situation. And then obviously this one, I've only got a small chemical refinery at the moment, but this is where you make the paste over here as well. There you go. That's those two. So we'll go and get the aluminium next, and I'll show you where to get that from. And this is also just manufactured here. But again, as with everything, you need a lot of water, which actually I'm running a little bit low on. So we have to go and fill some up before we do that. But yeah, we'll see you over at the aluminium field. Okay, so we've both made it all the way to the north. What we did was we flew from Anvil down here, because it's likely this is Eastern Vermilius Gap is probably where you're going to have your base. So fly from the Anvil post all the way up to Pinnacle Station. There is a journey that takes you up here. So just follow that and you'll eventually make your way up here. It costs about 700, I think it was, to fly up here. So, and then we just made our way onto this gap here. I've then just surveyed it so you can kind of see everything. But aluminium and basalt is all over the place. For this one, you are going to need a Mark III cutter ray. I've got this Callie's Breaker, which is a unique one, but it is a Mark III one, as you can see there. Basalt and aluminium it will do as well. So here we are. Here's some aluminium. Scan it, cut it, and we're on bikes because getting the buggy up here is going to be a bit of a nightmare. So we've probably got to build a. That's not very good, was it? There we go. We've already got to build a base up here and park some buggies or something up here. Haven't worked that one out yet, but we'll do that. And then this is basalt, like so, and it's just all over this place. And I do actually need this, so I am gonna stay up here and mine, but then I'll go and show you where we put it. But it's basically in the refiner back at the base. So yeah, I'll see you back there in a minute. But yeah, there's also no sandworms up here as well, or in the last place where we got the stuff for the cobalt paste. So yeah, you're kind of free from sandworms. You haven't got to worry about that at all, which is nice as well. Okay, so once you got the aluminium, obviously just come back to a refinery. I'm just using the medium one here. It is going to eat quite a bit of your water, so just be aware of that and start cooking it up. But yeah, just be aware that takes quite a bit compared to the steel, which is only 50. It's a 4 times increase, so yeah, just be careful you don't use up all your water. But there we go, and then we'll go and check out where the flower sand is next. Okay, so last but not least is flower sand, and that's out in the desert areas where the sandworm lives. But if you come over to this one, I've done a video on this already, but I'll just recap it. If you come over to here, we've got the Eastern Vilnius Gap and the Western Vilnius Gap. If you just come to this point here, there is a patch on the ground that you can just harvest this stuff to your heart's content. You will need to do your second trial, and you unlock this compact compactor. I've got a unique Mark III, but the first standard one will do this. Just shoot it at the ground, and flower sand will appear. Pick that up. I might be a little bit overloaded actually, but let's see if I can pick some up. There we go. Yeah, I've already got some on me. I'm full. But as you can see, in no time at all, you can just kind of shoot it and get a load of flower sand. Doesn't take much to make the silicon blocks, which is what I'll go and show you next at the chemical refinery, and then I'll give you a little bonus tip at the end as well. So I'll see you back at base. Okay, so once you've harvested your flower sand, you're going to want to bring it back here to the chemical refinery. I've got the small one here at the moment, and you're going to turn it into silicon blocks. Again, remember, it's going to take water, and it takes 5 flower sand, and you saw how quickly I managed to get 220. So you harvest a few thousand, you'll be good to go for quite some time, and obviously just set it off, and it'll just take a little bit of time to process, and you'll have your silicon blocks. So that about wraps it up for the ores that we've got to in aluminium. We're going to start getting into the other ores soon, so I'll bring you another guide then. One bonus tip that I would give is that, let's come over to the skills for a second. The Planetologist, I'll show you where to find him. I've only got the basic knowledge at the moment, but even just that gives you a yield bonus to the cut array. You've got things like an extra yield bonus when you're mining with the cut array and that sort of thing. So this guy is definitely worth going for. He's got some other bonuses like climbing and some other ones as well that's very useful, dew gathering, a bunch of other things as well. But yeah, definitely worth talking to that guy. And he is in the start zone. He's just here. He's around here somewhere. Just above, there's a research station there, and he wants you to go into that research station and get a piece of, find a collectible, take it back to him, and then he teaches you the planetology. So it's pretty easy, so don't worry too much about that. You need to go in there and get some of those capacitors and that anyway. So if you go and talk to him, he'll unlock that skill tree. And even, as you see, just at level 1, basically, you get a nice little 15% yield bonus. So definitely worth going to talk to that guy as well. He's really going to help out your mining. But I think for now, I think this is where we'll call it and we'll end it. So if you want to see more tips and tricks from Dune, let me know maybe what you're struggling with, and I'll see if I can come up with something. But for now, I think this is where we'll call it and we'll end the episode. So hit the like button, subscribe, all that jazz, and I'll catch you in the next Dune Awakening tips and tricks video. Thanks for watching. Catch you next time.